Hi everyone, it's Phil here from Ashland Leather. I thought it'd be great to show you some of the wallets that we're shipping out today, and we're going to start with the classic Color 8 Shell Cordovan. And the Color 8 Shell Cordovan is this dark brown burgundy shade that has sort of become synonymous with the word Cordovan itself. Originally, the most popular and probably the original color that Horween produced was actually a color called color number 4, which is roughly half the amount of color that you see on the color 8 here. It's a little bit more of a medium brown with some reddish undertones, but over the years people have sort of gravitated more towards this dark brown burgundy shade like you see on this Tony the Ant here. And I think this has become popular because it's so nice, but it also seems to go well with just about everything. So this first beautiful Tony here is for Ryan in Wyoming. Thank you so much, Ryan. And let's take a look here at the next wallet up. This is a Bugs Moran, also in the classic Color 8 Shell Cordovan. You can see the Bugs Moran is pretty similar on the inside compared to the Tony the Ant, but it's a little bit tighter because we wanted this to be a little bit more accessible for your front pocket. So it's a little bit slimmed down, and we do not have a bill slot on the outside. This Bugs Moran is for Gilberto in California. And here's another Color 8 Shell Cordovan item. This is the Frank the Enforcer, also in that classic Color 8 shell. Take a look at the bright, shiny, mirror-like luster on this piece. This one is for Aaron in Texas. Here's a really special Johnny the Fox. This is also Color 8 Shell Cordovan. And again, just take a look at how nice that leather is. Super smooth, super shiny, and just a really rich look and feel. This one's really special because we have a 100% Color 8 version, which means we have the Color 8 shell on the inside as well as on the outside. It's been really challenging for us to get any amount of leather that's appropriately thin for the insides of the Johnny the Fox. And you can see there's just so many layers of leather on a wallet like this that if we don't pick naturally thin pieces of shell, this wallet just bulks up way too much. So this one is for White King. And one more Color 8 shell item today. This is a Jumbo Fox with black shell Cordovan on the outside with the classic Color 8 shell on the inside. This one is for a potential customer named Tom that wanted to take a look at this one, so I thought I'd include it in the video. We still need to finish up the edges on this guy, give it a little bit of a polish, but even before polishing this with the Sapphire Cordovan cream that we polish every piece of shell with, this one's already looking really nice. And let's take a look at some Color 8 shell with a Color 8 reverse option. And this is a Fat Herbie. This is my personal favorite wallet style, the first wallet that we started making at Ashland Leather. We got that beautiful piece of Color 8 shell on the outside here for the bill slot, and that's sitting on a piece of Color 8 reverse where we get to see a little bit of that Horween ink stamp, and we get a nice little contrast of color. The reverse Color 8 is a little bit more of that orangey tan shade that you can see right here, and on the inside we have more Color 8 shell in the center as well as reverse Color 8 card slots. So this is a really nice Fat Herbie. I actually really like the feel of this particular one. So Alan in New Jersey, when you get this one, you got a really special piece of shell Cordovan on your Fat Herbie. And here's another really nice piece of Color 8 reverse. And I like the reverse shell Cordovan for several reasons, but the main reason is we get a chance to show off the Horween ink stamp, and we get to show off all the random dye marks that are random on the reverse sides of all the shell Cordovan. So they don't intend to put these dye marks on here. We just think they look interesting. So I started cutting them into the wallets. This is one of our newer 2-shot models in all reverse Color 8. And I also really like how nicely this develops patina. So when this is worn in, it starts to get a little bit darker, a little bit more golden in color, but the luster starts to develop and it gets a little bit more glassy on the surface, super smooth and polished. You can see here, it starts off a little bit dull, but once this is worn in, it gets really glassy and mirror-like, similar to how the shell Cordovan ages. So this one is going to Stephanie in New Jersey. Color 8 shell Cordovan is one of 2 of the most popular shell Cordovan colors, but there's also black, which is equally popular to the Color 8. They're produced about the same amount. So you're probably going to see the most black shell and the most Color 8 shell of any footwear or wallet that you will see. And this is a Bugs Moran with that black shell Cordovan. It's the other classic color on the outside. It has a really sleek look to the black shell. I like how the light reflects off of that. And on the inside here, this is a special piece that we did for a small batch Bugs Moran with a black reverse interior. I really like the mirrored look on the inside of this guy, where we have the darker top card slots and a little bit of the lighter, more greenish shades underneath. And this is the range of color that we see on the reverse black shell Cordovan. This is a great Bugs brand going to tin in Vancouver, Washington. And here's another black wallet, but this is black Dublin. And I really like the natural grain character on the black Dublin. You don't often see much grain character on any black leathers, which is why I like the Dublin so much. It has a really dramatic grain character that I hope translates properly on this video. A lot of the times black leathers in the world are really heavily finished, but the black Dublin, which is a veg tan aniline finished leather from Horween, does not have any solids or any, it's not like putting a paint on top of this leather, so you're able to see down to all the natural character in the black Dublin. And this one is for Austin in South Carolina. Here's another black Dublin piece, and we get, again, that incredible grain character on this black leather. We've paired this Johnny the Fox with a black Dublin on the outside and a teal horsehide interior, and I've always really enjoyed this color combination of the black and teal together. And this one is going to Ryan in Washington. Really special Johnny the Fox. We're actually sold out of these now. And I have another one that's pretty similar, but it's the inverse. So on this one, we have Teal Latigo on the outside. And the Teal Latigo is a very vibrant, sort of vivid aqua blue shade. And I like how this one ages and develops. When you wear this and it polishes in your pocket, it gets quite a bit darker. It starts to actually look like a pair of denim. So this is a really special leather on the outside. And we have the black horsehide Latigo on the inside. And again, I love this combination of the black and teal together. This one is going to Bruce in New Jersey, and Bruce is also picking up this Johnny the Fox here. This is another Dublin piece, but this time it's in the English tan. And man, that is a really special piece of English tan Dublin. Just take a look at the depth of color here, all that nice natural character. I really like how the Horween leather stuff, including this Dublin, is very natural looking. It doesn't look fake and finishy and plasticky at all, but it does have that nice sort of glassy, almost like a wet look on the surface. This is an exceptional piece of Dublin on the outside. We also have English tan Dublin on the inside, and this is a really special Johnny the Fox, again, going out to Bruce, so thank you so much, Bruce. And let's move into some of the lighter shades of shell Cordovan. This is the whiskey shell Cordovan. It's one of the more rare colors from Horween. It's a little bit more golden and yellow when compared to the natural shell Cordovan. So this is a whiskey key fob going out to, who is this going for? This is one is going to Taiken in Japan, and Taiken is also picking up one of these coin pouches. And we do tend to sell a lot of these coin pouches to customers in Japan. This one is also in whiskey shell Cordovan. It's a very simple snap pouch where you can put coins on the inside. And we've got a nice little Horween ink stamp on the interior for Taiken. And I had mentioned natural shell Cordovan. This is a natural shell Cordovan. Frank the Enforcer going to Nathan in Arizona. Thank you so much, Nathan. You got a really nice piece here, and you can see the difference between the natural shell and the whiskey shell here. And the whiskey shell is just a little bit darker, a little bit more golden, where the natural shell is a little bit lighter. It almost has like a little bit more life and vibrance to it. It's got like an orange undertone to it. And perhaps even lighter, this is the raw natural shell Cordovan on our two-shot card case. And this two-shot is going to Brian in Illinois. I love the natural raw shell Cordovan. It's actually the best leather that I found for the most dramatic patina. And you can see how light of a color it starts, but it also is very dull. It's very much not like the shell Cordovan, but once you wear this, it develops a life of its own. It almost gets a mirror-like shine to it, and the color darkens very dramatically. And here's another, this is an exceptional piece. This is natural shell Cordovan on the Johnny the Fox. I love this particular piece of natural shell because there's so much range to it, just so much natural character in this nice piece of leather here. You can see a little bit of striations and bits of color difference in this natural shell. That's awesome. Let me give you a look at the inside because I love how this one turned out, where we have a Color 8 reverse interior on this Johnny the Fox. And I like these random dye marks, random coloration of all the different reverse pieces of Color 8 shell. A nice little Horween ink stamp in the center. And again, this beautiful piece of natural shell on the outside. This Johnny the Fox is going to Brian in Georgia. Thank you so much, Brian. And I had that incredible piece of English tan Dublin on a Johnny the Fox earlier. And here's another one. All the English tan Dublin that I've been getting recently is just super nice. All this great natural character. And again, we have that English tan Dublin on the inside. It's really, really nice. This one is going to Alan in Washington. And here's another great piece of English tan Dublin. This one has a little bit more character, a a little bit more texture to it on the outside there. And this one is our Capone money clip. I've actually been wearing this exact wallet for the last few months. I've been really enjoying this. Some people have been commenting on the clip. I have noticed that my clip will hold one bill very tightly in place, even if I only have $1 on the inside. So if yours is not holding a dollar bill closed, there might be something up with the hardware, and I'd be glad to fix that for you. So let me know if you have any issues at all. This Capone in English Tan Dublin is going to Robert in New York. And it looks like I have one more English Tan Dublin piece to show you. When I was polishing this one up, all the character in this guy really stood out to me. I love this piece of English Tan Dublin. On the inside of this Bugs Moran, we've got more of that English Tan Dublin, and this has like a nice color shift to it. Depending on what angle you look at it, some of those lighter tones, more of those yellow tones appear in other angles. Sometimes a little bit more orange and red. So this is a really fascinating piece of leather, and I just love the form factor for the Bugs Moran. So this one is going to Michael in New Hampshire. And here is something completely different. This is something that we're calling the Tall Herbie. And if you've been following a bit, you may have seen a Tall Tony version before. And the big difference between the regular Fat Herbies and this Tall Herbie is that we've had the bill slot on the outside go all the way up to the top. So you don't have a little thumb notch on the outside. And it's just a bit of a different aesthetic. It's a lot of awesome leather to look at on the outside here. So this looks to be a whiskey hatch grain texture on the outside, which is really neat. Great character on that texture, and on the inside we've got more hatch grain, and this is on the color 8 shell Cordovan. So we did make this one Fat Herbie as a demo that I'll probably be putting up as a private stock sale pretty soon. And I have two more wallets to show you, and we're going to end on total stunners. Take a look here. This is a Fat Herbie with a reverse color 8 on the outside, and we waited quite a while to get this particular Horween ink stamp and the measuring machine stamp on the outside. We got this really interesting random die marks too on this Fat Herbie. This one's going to Matthew in Colorado, and this is awesome. I can't wait for you to see how nicely that wears in. On the inside here, we've got some interesting stuff. So we have black reverse on top of black marbled shell on the left, and on the right, it looks like we have reverse color 8 on top of cigar, it looks like underneath here, which is a little bit darker, a little bit more brown than the color 8 in the center, which is how you can tell the difference between the cigar and the color 8. That is a really special Fat Herbie going out to Matthew today. And check out this last one. And Matthew has one more piece heading out the door on the way to him today. And this is another special piece. This is a Tall Herbie in the Western whiskey shell Cordovan, almost a tongue twister. Western whiskey shell Cordovan. That is my favorite texture that Horween offers. I just love the look of that color. And take a look at how the color changes quite dramatically depending on what angle you look at this piece. On the inside, this also totally blew me away. We have Western denim shell Cordovan on the inside. And that denim blue is a little bit more of a vibrant blue when compared to the intense blue shell Cordovan. This is a really cool Tall Herbie going out today. It's going to be my stunner of the day. So thank you so much, Matthew, and congratulations on a beautiful piece. Everybody, I hope you had a great holiday, and I hope you have a happy new year. I'll be back again later this week showing off some more amazing pieces of leather. If you have any questions, definitely let me know. But until next time, I hope you have a good one.